Dear students, I welcome all of you in the another session of transportation engineering. We have discussed various kind of gradients in our previous session, and in this session we will carry forward the last session. We are continuing with segment number 2, that is highway transportation. The topics that I am going to cover in this mini session is grade compensation in road at curves. The concept of grade compensation. What is the formula for grade compensation? So let us discuss that. See, whenever we have learned that gradient means slope of the road. Fine. See, if this is the slope of the road, this is the horizontal curve which is provided on the slope. So what will happen? Two things will take place. First is the horizontal curve, and second is the gradient which is already provided. So when a horizontal curve is introduced on the road along with the gradient, what will happen? There will be increased resistance to friction. Means gradient and curve, both things are there, so they will provide resistance in the friction while traveling on this road surface. In that situation, we have to reduce, we have to compensate, we have to decrease the gradient because we cannot reduce the horizontal curve. So in such cases where gradient and curves both are there will be increased resistance to friction, and in that case the gradient needs to be decreased in order to compensate for the loss of tractive efforts due to the curve. So grade compensation comes in the picture at that time. This grade compensation can be defined as the reduction in the gradient at the horizontal curve because of the additional tractive efforts required due to the curve resistance, which is intended to offset the extra tractive efforts involved at the curve. Means in order to reduce the extra pull while traveling the vehicle on the horizontal curve, we have to reduce the gradient so that the vehicle have less amount of required pull and it can travel easily. This particular reduction in gradient at the horizontal curve on the road is called as grade compensation. Now, whenever we are discussing about grade compensation and the examples, there are two things that we need to keep in our mind. First is that there is the equation for the grade compensation in the road in percentage, and that equation is 30 plus r by r, where the r is the radius of the curve. But the maximum value is 75 by r, where the r is the radius of the curve in the meter. I have already narrated. There is one more criteria according to Indian Road Congress, that grade compensation is not necessary if the terrain is flatter than 4%. So what we need to do in order to compensate the grade or provide the grade compensation is, we have to apply this equation, then we have to apply this equation, and then we have to check for which value we should go. Don't get confused. Let us learn this with the help of an example. See, this is the example statement. While designing a hill road with a ruling gradient of 8%, see 8% of ruling gradient is given. I have explained that as per IRC, grade compensation is not required if the gradient is flatter than 4%. But here it is 8%. The curve 80-meter radius is given. So we have to find the compensated gradient at this curve. Now what we will do, first of all, we will interpret the statement. Since we know that gradient is 8%, which is more than 4%, so we have to go for the grade compensation. If it would less than 4, then we may have ignored providing the compensated gradient. But this is 8%, so we have to provide the grade compensation. That is the first thing. Then we have been provided with the ruling gradient of 8%, that is given over here. This is it. We have the radius of the curve as 80 meters. Now we have learned the equation that the equation is 30 plus r by r. Now put the values over here. 30 plus r is 80 and here it is 80. Calculate and tell me what is the value that you are getting over here. This value will come as 1.375 percentage. Now we have another statement that this is the first thing that we have calculated. Now we have the maximum limit of grade compensation, that is 75 by 1. So it will be 75 by 80. So calculate this and tell me what is the value that you are getting over here. So it is 0.9375. Now what we need to do, we have already been given 8 percentage. We have to reduce some amount of gradient. So what we will do, we will reduce the maximum gradient compensation that we have got. So we will subtract this. This will be 0.9375 and ultimately this is the gradient that we have to provide. So grade compensation means the gradient that you are provided, you have to reduce that gradient. To reduce that gradient, you have to put two equations, grade compensation and the maximum limit. Out of both the values, minimum value you have to choose. So majorly we will choose the maximum limit of grade compensation. That is 0.9375 and that comes as 7.06 percentage. So this is how it can be calculated. Got the concept? Okay. So in the continuation of the session, we are going to cover remaining topics which are more interesting, such as vertical curves. We'll cover the concept of vertical curves, what are the objects of vertical curves, and what are the various types of vertical curves. And in order to understand vertical curves, we need to have the answers of what, why and how. Whenever we are understanding a new concept or new topic, we need to have the answers of three WH questions. What is that thing actually? Why do we need to understand? Why do we need to learn that? And how can we learn that topic? So let me tell you that vertical curves are of two types. First one is called as summit curves and second is called as valley curves. See, this is one of the most important things that I would like to narrate. So you have to be attentive. Otherwise, you will not have proper idea or we will not be able to distinguish summit curves and valley curves properly. So let us understand the answer of why, what and how. So, okay, this is the definition. Due to change in grade in the vertical alignment of the highway. See, observe the things that I am marking on the slide. Due to change in grade in the vertical alignment of the highway, now we all know that there are two types of alignment of highway. One is horizontal alignment and another is vertical alignment. Here we are discussing about the vertical alignment of highway. When there is the change of grade, means change in slope of vertical alignment of highway, it is necessary to introduce vertical curve. Now where it is introduced? So this is the answer. It is introduced at the intersection of different grades, where two grades or two slopes are intersecting with each other. Now, why it is required to be provided? So, they are provided to smoothen out the vertical profile. See, two vertical grades or two intersections are meeting, then in this intersection point, we have to smoothen out this profile. So to smoothing out this vertical profile, vertical curves are provided. Means what I'm trying to explain is when there is a change in gradient of a road, such as, see, if we are traveling on the road and let us assume that there is an obstruction like this, or while designing the road, we observe an obstruction like this, which cannot be removed. So we cannot design our road, we cannot construct our road in this direction. Otherwise, this will create hindrance. So what we can do is we can construct the road like this. Sometimes it may also happen that we are traveling on the road or we are designing or constructing the road and the obstruction is like this. So we cannot provide the road in this direction. Otherwise, it will also create hindrance. So what we can do is we can provide the road like this so that this obstruction can be avoided. This provision of curve is called as vertical curve, which is used to smoothen out this vertical profile which is provided at the intersection of different grades. Now this curve is called as summit curve and this curve is called as valley curve. Fine. Let me repeat it once again that due to change in grade in the vertical alignment of the highway, it is necessary to introduce the vertical curve at the intersection of different grades. Why? To smoothen out the vertical profile, the particular curve which is provided that is called as vertical curve. They are of two types, summit curves and valley curves. Now let us discuss the objects of providing summit curves. Why it is required to provide summit curves? The first point is to introduce the change of grade gradually. See, if one gradient of road is like this and one is like this is not how the road can be constructed. Otherwise, it will create discomfort to the passengers. So we have to smoothen out this profile like this. So gradually this change of grade can be introduced with the help of summit curve. With the provision of summit curve, the safety and visibility can also be increased, that can be seen. And provision of these curves will increase the comfort and convenience to the passenger or clients. So the objects of providing summit curves is first is to introduce the change of grade gradually, second is to provide the safety and visibility, and third is to provide the comfort to the passengers. Now let us discuss about summit curves. See, summit curves are of two types. Let us assume that this is the road grade number 1, that is called as N1, and that is grade this is grade 2. This is also N1, this is also N2. Now in case of summit curve, it is necessary that the N2 is always less than N1. That can be observed. N2 is always less than N1. You can observe this. And this particular thing, this angle is called as deviation angle. So this summit curves, this is having convexity upward. See, this is called as upward convexity. If it would be like this is called as downward convexity. But this is upward convexity. The summit curves with the convexity upwards are found in any of the illustrated cases above. I have already illustrated the two cases. The deviation angle n, this deviation angle n, it is between the two intersecting gradients and it is equal to the algebraic difference between them. It is the difference of n1 and n2. So this is about summit curve. Now let us have the technical understanding of this phenomenon. See, let us understand the technical phenomenon. When a fast moving vehicle travels along a summit curve, the centrifugal force will act upwards against the gravity and hence the part of pressure means the pressure on the tires and the pressure on the spring on the vehicle suspension is relieved so that there is no issue, no problem of discomfort to the passenger on the summit curves. Means let us assume that this is the summit curve, this is where your vehicle is traveling. So what will happen while traveling this vehicle on the summit curve, centrifugal force will act upwards and the center of gravity will act downward. So due to that, the pressure which is acting on this tire and on the spring of the suspension means here and here. both this pressure will be relieved easily. Pressure will be relieved. So there will be no discomfort to the passenger when it is or she is traveling on this type of road. So this is a technical understanding of the phenomenon. This is about the summit curve. Now we have understood the technical phenomenon or technical understanding of the summit curve. Now let us discuss about the length of summit curve. This length of summit curve depends upon various factors, out of which various categories are there. So we are going to cover the depending factors, categories and types and generating the equations. Let us discuss about the length of summit curve. The length of summit curve depends upon various factors such as side distances, amount of gradient and radius of vertical curve. So we have learnt about side distances, and out of two side distances, SSD and OSD, plays an important role whenever we are discussing about the length of summit curve. Now we have discussed that gradient plays an important role while defining the length of summit curve, and the radius also plays an important role. So there are three factors that depends that on which the length of summit curve depends. First is side distances, second is amount of gradient, and third is the radius of vertical curve. There are three types of summit curve. It can be of circular curve like this. It can also be a transition curve, and it can also be simple parabola. But there are issues in providing transition curve, because whenever we are providing transition curve, summit curve as transition curve or transition curve at the summit curve, there will be issues in side distance analysis. So there will be issues in side distance that may create hindrance in the designing. So majorly circular or simple parabola is provided, but mostly the simple parabola is provided whenever we are discussing about the summit curve. Fine. So it is about this. Now let us discuss about the stopping side distance criteria. See, let us assume that this is the type of road and the curve is provided like this. So the distance between this point to this point is your L, which is the length of curve. And let us assume that your car is traveling over here and one of the obstructions is provided over here. So the distance between your car and the obstruction is stopping side distance, that is S. So whenever we are discussing about the summit curve, there are two cases that we need to consider. The first case is where the L means the length of curve is more than the side distance, as I have illustrated in the figure, and the second is where the L is less than SSD. So it is like this. Let us discuss the first case, that is L is greater than SSD. The equation for this is ns square under bracket under root 2h plus under root small 2h whole square. Well, the n stands for length of summit curve, s stands for SST in meters, capital H stands for 1.2 meters, that is the height of driver above the road surface. Small h stands for 0.15 meters, and the n stands for the deviation angle, that is the intersection angle. If we substitute the value of small h and capital H in this equation, we will get the final equation as ns square by 4.4, where s is the SSD. So this is how the first case can be understood. Now let us discuss the second case. The first case was about the L is more than SSD. Now the another case is about where the L is less than SSD. So the equation for what was the equation for L is more than SSD? It was ns square 2h plus under root 2h whole square. Now let us understand this equation. What I will do it like this. See, I will flip this thing under root 2h plus under root 2h whole square n square Can I flip this? Yes, I have flipped this. Now I will do a small change in the equation after flipping. What I will do, this s square will be converted into 2s. This will be minus. And this is how the initial equation of where the L is less than SST would look like this. Now, if we substitute the values of capital H as 1.2 and small h as 0.15 in this equation, what I will get it, I will get the final equation as the 2s will be same, the n will be same, and this will be 4.4. So this is the ultimate equation for the summit curve where the case L is less than SSD is given. So this is how we can understand the concept thoroughly. Fine. Now we all know that there are two kinds of strike distances. We have learned about stopping side distance. Now we will cover the overtaking side distance. See, there are also two cases in OSD also. First case is about where L is more than OSD. So what was the basic equation for where the L was more than SSD? It was this ns square by under root 2h plus under root small 2h whole square. If you remember, this was the basic equation. And what we did in that equation is we just put h as 1.2 and small h is 0.15. But whenever we are discussing about OSD, we will keep small h and capital H both as 1.2. And if we put the equation of capital H and small h as 1.2, we will get the final equation as, it would be like this, and s square by 9.6. Okay, and the second scenario where the L is less than OSD, what was the equation, final equation that we got in SSD? It was this 2s minus 4.4 by n. But in this case, the value will be changed to 9.6 that we have calculated in the previous slide. So this is all about the summit curve, length of summit curve. I hope you have gone through the concept thoroughly. Thank you.